Hello, Dan.
Il y en a deux, Dan, je sais jamais quel que c'est.
Les deux. Hello.
Dan L.
Hello, Dan. Okay. Hello and welcome to the AGM, everybody. Not. Hello. Pardon?
Dan L.
Okay. Today is the AGM. Okay. Hello and welcome to the AGM, everybody. Not. It's coming out twice, my voice. So, okay. So today we have a special guest, Dan Longloud, with Baker Tilly, and we have Alicia Craddock from the municipality financial department. Welcome, everybody. As we proceed, the first item on the agenda is any declaration of interest on the financials.
No.
No, no, nobody. Okay, great. Thank you. So I need a mover and a seconder for the approval of the agenda that you received previously. Dan Olivier.
I'll second the motion.
Merci, Louise. And the motion reads, be it resolved that the agenda for the AGM meeting held July 7th be adopted as presented. All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, yes. Against, none. Thank you. Thank you all. And we now proceed to the financial report from Baker Tilly. Dan Longloud, you have the floor. You'll have to unmute yourself.
My apologies. I didn't realize I was muted.
No problem.
I don't, Madame la Présidente, I don't know how to share the financial statements. Jason, can you put them up or do you want me to, or just talk about them?
I can't share them. I had to go on a different computer here, so I'm not at my I'd be the one who had to share the screen, so I'm not loaded up to share it.
Okay, so
I might be able to.
Perhaps.
Oh,
yeah.
thanks, Alyssa.
Do you want just the straight statements, Dan?
Yeah, if you don't mind, Alyssa.
I'll see what happens here.
Okay, and before we go, I need a mover and a seconder for the resolution to go forward with this. So if I have somebody to move.
Ray.
And second. Oh, Roland. OK. Roland, ça dit Daniel en dessous de ton nom, c'est correct. Be it resolved that the financial statements for the year ended December 31st, 2020 be adopted as presented. So now, Dan, you can present, and then we will vote accordingly. Thank you.
Hey, I'm just waiting. Here we
Wait.
go.
Yes.
Yes.
Thank you, Alicia.
Thank you, Elisa.
There we go.
Perfect.
Thank you very much, Elisa.
You're hired.
Fabulous.
Sorry, man. I've already made the offer to her already to come to Baker Tilly. She said no. So, Lisa, can you put it down to the balance sheet? I didn't go through the end of the auditor's report, but the auditor's report was dated March 31st, 2021. That's when the board met to approve the financial statements. And it was a clean audit report. So basically this projects the financial position of West Nipissing Environmental as at December 31st, 2020. If I look, your financial assets are about 1.1 million, the bulk of which is cash and some investments, but some receivables that are comparable, except the receivables this year are a little bit higher just because we were in COVID and et cetera, but it's not exactly out of the ordinary. And your net financial assets are 575. and your tangible capital assets are 579. Elisa, can you switch to the income statement then, please? I should say the statement of operations. This basically outlines your revenues and expenditures for the year. So basically your operating activities. If you look, the organization did a pretty good estimate of the budgeted amounts because your total revenue is within 10,000 of what was budgeted for. Most items are, the increases were expected. The only thing was that we got some extra contaminated soil in the current year, not as much as the prior year, but we did more than we budgeted. So basically with contaminated soil, when the decision is made to take it on, you can't really predict when that's going to happen. So on the expenditure side, everything is relatively comparable to the prior year, with the exception of gas and oil, which attributed basically to, I guess, the fleet is a little bit newer, Jason, less activity potentially because of COVID. You're muted, Jason.
I think everybody's muted.
Yeah, so yeah, we did have a bit less runs. We do have a newer efficient truck as well. So it could represent, that's what could represent it.
Okay. And your office in general, last year we had some expenditures there that are mostly cyclical. So it's really comparable to budget this year. And you've got a loss this year of on a tangible capital assets. And with an annual surplus of $243,000. So basically the surplus that was budgeted was 40. So West Nipissing Environmental did quite well in 2020 as far as the operations are going. So other than that, the financial statements are relatively comparable. The notes are comparable to it, but I'm prepared to answer any questions there are related to the financial statements.
Okay, anybody have any questions? Or do we have any? Dan Olivier, you're on mute. Dan Olivier, you are on mute. There. Okay. T'avais-tu une question? Oh, you muted again.
This?
Oui, c'est beau.
Okay, down on the financial report, it amazed me to see amortization usually doesn't move 100,000 in 1 year. Like, why would 100,000, like it was 136 last year, 143 budgeted, and we finished at 50?
Yeah, what happened was there was an asset that was depreciated at a lesser amount, so we had to increase it. And also you did have an increase in capital assets in the year. So if you want a detailed analysis that I can send it to it, but it's basically a journal entry based on the useful life of the assets.
Okay, yeah,
Okay.
I could see that.
Merci. Est-ce qu'il y a d'autres questions? Any more questions? Non? Est-ce que d'autres commentaires, Dan, que tu voudrais?
Oui, le seul commentaire, c'est I'd like to thank Jason and Bridget and Elisa and everybody involved with the audit, and especially Chantal for coordinating us the best way we can. So thank you very much. It's a pleasure doing the work for West Nipissing Environmental, and nice to see familiar faces. Hopefully we'll be able to do this face to face sometime in the near future.
Yes, okay.
You know what I mean? But unfortunately, I haven't grown anymore and I'm losing more hair. So what you're going to get in person is pretty much what you're getting now. So I wouldn't get too excited.
Merci beaucoup, Dan, pour
Un plaisir.
Pour l'étude, puis le rapport, puis réponse de questions.
Puis merci,
alors, j'ai besoin...
Dan. Merci
oui.
Dan, pour la question. C'est tout le temps apprécié quand il y a des questions. Merci.
C'est ça. Parfait. Parfait. J'ai besoin de savoir si tous en faveur d'approuver les états financiers.
Oui.
Oui. Contre? Non? OK. Parfait. Carried. Merci beaucoup. Merci, Dan. Tu es bienvenue à rester. Si vous, tu peux nous laisser. Ou...
Je mentirais si je te dirais, j'aimerais ça rester. Mais je vais le lire dans les procès-verbaux. Merci.
OK.
And Elisa, thanks for getting me out of a bind, man. Thank you.
Juliette,
Oui,
Bonne
merci.
soirée tout le monde.
C'est ça. Merci beaucoup.
Rolly's got something.
Dan,
Rolly, excuse Rolly. Oui.
oui, je voudrais remercier Dan pour tout ton travail, puis encore très bien fait, très professionnel. Ça fait tout le temps chaud quand te voir, Dan.
Ben, merci.
Merci.
OK.
Ben,
Ouais.
je m'ai fermé là, avant que je commence à marcher là, à cause que je n'ai pas un plein habit. Là. So,
OK, parfait. Merci beaucoup. Merci, Dan. À plus tard.
bye-bye.
OK, bye-bye. OK, parfait. Merci. Puis merci pour vos questions, vos commentaires. On passe à l'item numéro 4. Welcome message from the chair. And that's me,
Merci.
Ginette Rochon. Good evening, everyone, and welcome to our annual general meeting. Bonsoir à tous et bienvenue à notre réunion générale annuelle. As chair of the West Nipissing Environmental Committee, I wish to thank all members for their continued interest and input during our meetings. The past year has been different once again, as all meetings have been held via Zoom. Documents were received by email well in advance, giving every member time to review the material and prepare. The West Nipissing Environmental Services is in good financial situation, as was presented earlier, and our manager keeps us informed as to current and future plans for the landfill site. We have responsibilities as part of the municipal board, and I believe that we are doing everything according to the bylaws and our way of doing things. It's important to realize that we are here to support the staff as well as receive the financials in order to prove them. The minutes are well documented and can be viewed by any resident if interested. Thank you to all the staff for making our job easier, and Chantal and Jason and Melissa who are here, as well as the others. Hopefully this year will continue to progress in the right direction and that the operations will remain in good standing. Thank you all. Ginette Rochon, Chair. Merci. Okay. Now we... Bienvenue. C'est bon. OK, numéro 5, approval of the 2020 annual general meeting. And we have a resolution. I need a mover and a seconder before we discuss it further.
I can move
Louise? Louise?
Daniel.
Daniel Olivier. Okay. Be it resolved that the following minutes be adopted as presented. November 16, 2020, AGM meeting via Zoom. Any questions or clarifications? You want to add a chance to review?
Yes.
Good. You're good? Okay, so all in favor to approve the minutes? Okay, thank you. Carried. I feel as if we're zooming right through this.
Someone's got to ask some questions here.
Yeah. It says I have a resolution to appoint auditors.
Let's discuss.
And I don't seem to have it. And Chantal, est-ce que c'était dans les paquets? Oh oui, excuse. Je viens de la trouver. On a une résolution pour approuver les auditeurs pour l'année prochaine. J'ai besoin d'un proposeur, un sac-odeur. Quelqu'un pour proposer? Louise? Puis Raymond. Merci. Be it resolved that Baker Tilly be appointed as the auditors for the fiscal year 2021 for the West Nipissing Environmental Services. All in favor? Thank you. Carried. And managers report. Jason, you have the floor.
Thank you, Jeanette. won't be too long either. 2020 can be summed up in one word, of course, and it's COVID. Managing essential workers during a pandemic was an interesting situation, to say the least. But staff put on their big boy pants and their PPE and got the job done, regardless of the mental constraints that were put on all during the situation. Typically at this time, I list our major highlights of the year, but 2020 was about getting through the day-to-day operations, ensuring the essential worker collection, processing, and landfill operations continued safely. New initiatives basically were put on the back burner, but things were still being done. Things such as the replacement of our commercial recycling truck. This is an essential tool to our diversion efforts and a valuable asset to our fleet. The continuation of expansion plans and the beginning stages from an engineering perspective on our transition from existing site to the new cell. The implementation of recycling coach was also occurred in 2020 and was interesting. Yet another tool in our waste diversion belt. And the landfill site road upgrades. This was a long time in the works and very well received upon completion. I don't know if anybody had the opportunity to go up and down our road, but it's in good shape now.
Yeah.
I'm sure I'm missing a few things. We all know 2020 was an unusual year, but it is in the past now. And when looking back, I'd like to say that West Nipissing Environmental Services persevered. It is at this time that I'd like to thank the board members, staff, municipal council, and the public for the dedication and hard work in making all this happen.
Perfect.
Thank
Thank
you.
you, Jason.
Any-
Any questions, any clarifications you want to address, Jason, with? No? Okay, thank you. You're off. Item number 8 was new items, and we have none.
There was something
Whoop.
brought up, Elisa had mentioned, I don't know if it should be brought up here or not, but about, we have Dan Longley coming here twice and the AGM. I don't know, Elisa, if we should speak to that. Is this a new item or at another time?
Doesn't really need sort of an AGM discussion. It
Okay,
was just a matter of sort of moving the approval of your financial statements and the presentation to the AGM at the same time earlier in the year, but it doesn't need to be discussed at an AGM.
okay, thank you.
Thank you. Okay, so now we move to number 9, which is the adjournment. And I need somebody to propose and second the motion to adjourn. Daniel Olivier et Roland. Merci. Moved by Daniel, seconded by Roland. Be it resolved that this meeting be adjourned at 6:21 p.m. today. All in favor? Perfect. Thank you. Thank you all. Have a good